For the first time since talking about Kamp Lazlo, I'm actually gonna give Kamp Lazlo a positive review. Yes, I'm not making this up and I'm not trolling you at all. I'm actually think that Camp Kringle, even though it's not one of the best Christmas specials ever, it is still underrated when it comes to Christmas specials from cartoons. After doing more information of this episode as an adult right now, I can really tell that they actually do a really good job on making a Christmas episode. Because when it comes to the other holiday specials, which I'll get to eventually, they really know how to actually make a Christmas episode really entertaining and also unique for its own way. Slakeman takes the Camp Kidney Scouts to Mount Whitehead so that they can see the meteor shower falling. But then they stop because one of their tires are popped because there were Christmas lights on the road in July. I would say this as an issue, but I'm just gonna point out right now that this is probably taking the idea from the NNA episode from 2000, while the episode was taking place in July, and people are just completely expressing that it's July while it's the middle of the summer, while also celebrating Independence Day, and Christmas isn't gonna come until the end of the year. However, just to be a bit nice, I don't consider this a big issue whatsoever, since that the characters stay at camp during the summer, so if there isn't going to be a Christmas special during the summer, then I guess that they had to take Christmas to Mount Whitehead in order to make this an actual Christmas special. Anyway, they meet Santa Claus, who's, in my opinion, is probably the most unique Santa Claus I've seen when it comes to cartoon episodes. Because for one, since that this is taking place in July, he's about to take a vacation to a tropical resort after doing all the hard work on making the toys for everyone for this year's Christmas. Well, by the show's timeline, that is. However, considering that the scouts only came out on Mount Whitehead for a meteor shower, a meteor crashed into all the gifts that Santa had completely made for everyone around the world. Which means that he doesn't want to do all the work again and he needs a vacation. Now, I really think that this is the type of plot that actually kind of works when it comes to an ideal that the characters go to a location just for this specific reason, and then when that specific reason completely destroy all the presents, you can really tell that the plot of this episode really knows how to make a really interesting Christmas episode. Lazlo and his friends decides to take Santa to Camp Kiddie to understand what it's like to have fun. And I gotta be really honest with you, there is probably not another cartoon that actually does this plot involving Santa completely going to a different location and just want to have a vacation there. Because you don't usually see a lot of plots where you actually see Santa wanting to go on vacation because of all the hard work that he's done. Sorry. In my opinion, the only times that we only see Santa go on vacation in cartoons is the Fairly Odd Parents, where he decided to take a vacation after doing all the hard work, not to mention the fact that Timmy was the one that caused all of his troubles. Which I have to admit, unlike in that episode, this episode at least tries to actually give you an understanding on this version of Santa is a lot more different compared to the other Santas that we've seen in other cartoons. I can really tell you that the fact that they actually give you a Santa that isn't like the other Santas that we witnessed from other cartoons, I really think that Kamp Lazlo did the best of its originality to give us a Santa that wants a vacation so badly. Granted, this leads to Santa having a change of heart, but I'm gonna get to that later. Getting back to Scoutmaster Lumpus, he wants to stay because he enjoys the luxury, and Santa told him to keep an eye on his elves while also completely keeping the whole place safe and unbroken. Yeah. Basically, Scoutmaster Lumpus is just doing this just so they can take advantage of going around the entire workshop. Usually, I would easily go against this, but this is Scoutmaster Lumpus we're talking about. And this is literally the second or third time I ever talked about him on my YouTube channel. First being Lumpus Last Stand, and second, maybe the episode that I reviewed, I forgot the title of the name that I reviewed back in 2018. And that's basically it. If I'm ever going to discuss another Scoutmaster Lumpus, well, he's mostly selfish or either good, it will probably be a long time before I get to a good Kamp Lazlo episode. If there's one thing that kind of makes this episode taken away itself for being a really great Christmas special, is Lazlo and his friends. Now, don't worry, he isn't like what he was from Samson Wants a Hug. In fact, he is far from that, since that he's optimistic in this episode. The issue with Lazlo in this episode is the fact that he's willing to actually show Santa how Kamp Kidney is a really great place to live in while completely having fun, and completely ignoring the fact that he wants Christmas to be uncancelled in order to keep coming for everyone, for so many people around the world to get some gifts from Santa Claus. I did say that the idea of Santa Claus enjoying a vacation is a good concept. However, the issue is that Lazlo was the one that almost destroyed Christmas by completely showing Santa what Kamp Kidney is all about. Now, to be fair, I don't usually blame Lazlo completely, not 100%. I can understand he's just trying to make things right for people who are feeling down and really depressed, especially people like Santa Claus. And his motivations in this episode is honestly the fact that he just wants to make things right for everyone. I mean, literally the only reason until why Santa decides to stay is because he's been playing paddleball outside for the majority of this episode. That's literally the only thing that Santa enjoys is paddleball. Everything else that he does is just not really good, or just that his luck is just really bad. And to be quite honest, Lazlo did most of the activities with Santa and they didn't end up well. However, he didn't do anything with paddleball whatsoever, so I can actually give him points for that. However, the issue is the fact that Santa won't be able to send gifts to all over the world, like I mentioned, and the only way to actually have Santa completely leave Kamp Kidney is to have him eat a really disgusting dish. Baby Lazlo become a lot more unlikable when you completely see of how they're just trying to get rid of Santa Claus. Ignoring the fact that they made the dish completely disgusting, they also was this close into killing Santa Claus. Well, not really killing him, but nearly making him sick and unable to actually go on his own vacation, while also probably either make more gifts for anyone around the world. I honestly think that this is obviously a lose-lose situation no matter what. And the fact that people actually enjoy these types of scenes, even if how disgusting they are, I really think that this is the type of stories that can easily become really overweight at this point. I'm not saying that this completely ruins the entire plot of this, but it really goes to show on the fact that everyone actually is still nice, despite the fact that what they did in this is considered naughty, especially someone against Santa. Granted, this isn't as nearly as bad what Dexter did, but I'm gonna get to that once I upload my comparison video of Dexter's Laboratories, Dexter vs. Santa Claus against Johnny Bravo's Twas the Night. And even though that they managed to not succeed on trying to have Santa leave Kamp Kidney, they decided to make Christmas gifts of their own, which I will admit, if you're someone like Lazlo's age and his friend's age, you'll probably be in this situation if Santa Claus was actually real and actually is in the same situation as the Santa in this episode is. But on the other hand, it just makes Santa really ungrateful considering the fact that he's just being rude at the idea that Lazlo doesn't know how to make Christmas gifts. He's really young and a child. Don't actually expect him to do some really good deeds. So anyway, Santa completely takes the gift from Lazlo and just changes it to a paddleball set. And that actually gave him the motivation into actually making more gifts for the children all over the world. And also adults. So I keep laying that out. I completely slipping that out every single time. I wouldn't say this is anticlimactic for a story to actually give a character's different perspective of what they do nowadays, but I really think this is pretty much a good way to actually see that Santa actually does care about Christmas, even though that it's July at this point. He completely thanked Lazlo to actually give him the inspiration to making gifts again, and decides to head back to Mount Whitehead in order to actually make more Christmas gifts for, again, everyone in the entire planet. And at this point, I'm acting like a broken white girl. But then again, I'm really reviewing Christmas episodes, so expect me to be a broken white girl constantly. However, it doesn't end off the special yet. It doesn't end off the special there. We get a battle between Santa Claus and Scoutmaster Lumpus, who changed his workshop to Santa's workshop to Lumpus Land. And at this point, I honestly think that Lumpus is honestly delusional at this point, since that we're at the later seasons. This came out just months before this show came to an end, so at this point, flannelization is honestly unavoidable with cartoons like these. As for the fight itself, since that it's mostly rare to actually see cartoons like this to actually have some kind of action scenes into them, I consider this action scene mostly average at best. Since that this is just basically a way to actually have this episode be 22 minutes, I think I consider this mostly unnecessary, but considering the fact that Scoutmaster Lumpus is so ungrateful, he just can't able to do one good deed right in any situation that he's in the later seasons, I honestly think that he really just doesn't even, at this point, the final episode, I'm starting to understand onto why they actually have the ending of the real Scoutmaster completely taking away the fake Scoutmaster, which is Lumpus, even though in reality it wasn't really the case, away. Granted, it's completely stupid, but considering that the final episode is called Lumpus Last Stand, I really don't know what else to actually expect from this show anymore. And the fact that it's been 3 years since I talked about Lumpus Last Stand. So that's basically my thoughts on Kamp Lazlo's Kamp Kringle. Granted, it's not one of the best Christmas specials I've ever seen, but it's not one of the worst, and I can say this is one of the better Kamp Lazlo episodes. And that's saying something from someone who doesn't enjoy a SpongeBob knockoff. I really think that they probably know how to make a Christmas special really original and unique, and it's a lot more better than the Halloween and Valentine's Day episodes, which I'm probably gonna get to in the future. It has its pros and cons, and considering this is one of the only episodes that has less cons compared to pros from my perspective, that really says a lot on the fact that since we're watching this episode to do for my preparation for this review, I can say that this episode actually did a really decent job on making this version of Santa unique. Not best, not bad, just unique, which is something I can say for a lot when it comes to episodes like this. I give this episode a 7.25 out of 10.